So I bought this gun, toy gun, about 5 months ago from a thrift store for about $3. As you can see, it's a PlayStation gun, which means that it was meant originally for PlayStation games. So I decided to repurpose it and make it for PC games. So what I've done is I've gutted it out for some of the electronics I didn't need, and I kept on to some buttons here so that I could repurpose them for my games. Here's the electronics I'm going to be putting into it. I designed this board, and as you can see, it's got a gyroscope and an accelerometer. It's got an Arduino, I think it's Arduino Micro. And right here is a resistor network that I'm using as my pull-up resistor for the buttons. And right here is a MOSFET. I'm using that because I'm going to be using these solenoids. Why am I using solenoids? It's because I'm going to use it as a recoil action. So when you press the trigger on the gun, this will activate and hit this plastic piece, which will give it some feedback to give you more of that immersive experience. So I'm going to integrate everything together, and then you can see the outcome. As you can see here, I made some adjustments to the gun from the last video. I made extensions for all the buttons, and I put these connectors on here so that it can connect nicely to my board. And so now I'm just going to put it all together. Oh, and also I've added 2 solenoids so that both of them will give a stronger effect when colliding with the piece of plastic here. So right now I'm going to put it all together and give it a run. I finally finished my project, and as you can see, it's powered up. I'm using 12 volts here to power up my solenoids, and I'm using a USB extension to supply the 3.3 volts to power up my board, and also to provide communication between my PC and my board. I'm going to give it a test run now. So The way this works is right here is the trigger button, of course. See, I can shoot with it. And right over here is my walk button. So I can press and walk so it acts like a normal controller.
Target neutralized.
And so as you can see, I'm going to aim my sights on this robot. So I got my scope on. And I can use it to make these headshots. Then I can move around using this little back button, as I showed earlier. And then I can shoot it as regular without the scope. And you can hear the solenoids activate as I pull the trigger. It's not as much oomph as I expected. But still, you still feel something. There's some improvements I need to make to it. For example, this scope, initially I wanted to use these buttons right here, but for some reason these buttons appear to be tied in with the trigger button. So I'm probably going to have to fix that or think of an alternative. But regardless, I guess you could almost say that this project is kind of an ongoing project until I perfect things. And that's pretty much it.